Hello GFA. It's a pleasure to come to you from the Capitol where we're just closing out the 2021 legislative session. Tom, Richard, and I have worked hard to get 3 bills across the finish line and on their way to Governor Kemp's desk for his consideration for a signature. All 3 of those bills align to our core principles of protecting private property rights, healthy markets, and sensible taxes and regulation. We're so excited to have had so much support during this time, to have your engagement and involvement making sure that we could be successful. This is my 6th year at the Capitol, and I'm pleased to say of the 3 bills that we've had and the hundreds of individual votes that we've had from our legislators, we only had 3 no votes through the entire Senate and House process of getting those bills across the finish line. It's a testament to how much support we've been able to build for forestry in Georgia. It's a testament to the fact that whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, people support our industry and support you as those folks who are invested in this dirt and steel that make forestry a reality in our state every single day. And lastly, it's a testament to the support we have as the #1 forestry state in the United States. Today, Tom and Richard and I are going to tell you a little bit about 3 bills that were passed. Mr. Richard, if you would start off with House Bill 282.
House Bill 282 removed some obstacles that were developed in the rulemaking process. Legislative intent was certainly exceeded. The requirements of a plat by a registered professional surveyor, legal descriptions, and most of all, a forest management plan were eliminated, which were not called for in the initial legislation. Legislative intent did not require a forest management plan, did not require a plat by a registered surveyor, or did not require legal description. So we eliminated those from the rules making process, and as usual, the rule making process normally allows a department to exceed the legislative intent, and this was done in House Bill 282. So our legislation removed those obstacles that were passed, and we think it'll be very user-friendly to our forest landowners, and we appreciate all the help that we had in passing the legislation.
Thank you, Mr. Richard. Tom, if you could tell us a little bit about House Bill 90.
Yep, thanks, Andre. It's a pleasure to talk about House Bill 90. It may be one of the most important bills GFA's ever worked on as an association since it started in 1907. It corrects a conflict in the law between the Uniform Commercial Code and a law from 1939 that really put in jeopardy the way any mill that buys wood at their gates purchases wood. Essentially, if the 1939 law were to hold in place, every consuming mill that buys gatewood would have to run a title search on that load. And as y'all know, the way our industry is developed, if you're buying hundreds of load of wood a day, that sort of requirement would be completely onerous and would completely upend the way forestry and forest transactions are done in our state. So this was a simple bill that simply said that the protections the Uniform Commercial Code provides to buyers of timber are dominant, and this 1939 law does not supersede this. So really glad it provides any buyer of timber this important legal certainty so that business can continue.
Talking a little bit about 355, that is the bill that expands and revitalizes the Georgia's carbon registry. By expanding it, we will start to include, hopefully, a framework to be able to give carbon credits to developers who choose to use low carbon intensity or carbon negative materials. That includes wood, materials that absorb carbon instead of generating carbon into our atmosphere. This is a first of a kind piece of legislation for the United States, and it sets a mark of where we want to be as an economy that is choosing products that are good for this built environment and good for our economy, homegrown here in the state of Georgia, here in the United States of America. So we're very excited about that. I want to especially thank our legislators who helped sponsor our legislation through their respective chambers. On House Bill 90, Representative Bruce Williamson and Senator John Kennedy. On House Bill 282, Representative Stephen Meeks and Senator Chuck Hustetler. On House Bill 355, Representative Marcus Wiedauer and Senator Tyler Harper. Also want to appreciate the leadership of Senator Harper on truck weights and Representative Trey Rhodes on the poaching bills, both bills that we hope to advance in 2022. We also want to thank several organizations that have helped us. Georgia Bankers Association, the Georgia Trial Lawyers Association, the Georgia Conservancy, the Georgia chapter of the Nature Conservancy, the Georgia Agribusiness Council, and most importantly, the University of Georgia Warnell School of Forestry and Natural Resources, who's provided a lot of the research that's helped us make good policy decisions here at the Capitol. And lastly, thank you to every GFA member who is supporting us in our work here at the Capitol. Your support of the Forest PAC, the Foundation, our board, your service on our board, and your service on our committees is essential. These are the things that get us prepared to be successful here in the legislative arena. Over the 6 years that I've been here, we're as strong as ever, and we're poised to even grow stronger. So thank you for everything you're doing. Our work for the next legislative session in 2022 starts today. Stay engaged, support us, and let us know what you need to be competitive with your forestry assets. Thanks again.
And with that, the chair recognizes the majority leader of the House. And let me say this before he makes his motion. You can throw paper, but not plastic. Chair recognizes the majority leader of the House for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I move that this House adjourn, sine die.
On the motion of the majority leader at this House, adjourn, sine die. All those in favor will say aye. Those opposed will say no. This House is adjourned, sine die.